Welcome to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Mental Health Awareness. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, and you're listening on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. My guest today is Jaime Taylor. She struggles with mental health, but how has she struggled with what's she doing about it and how is she thriving today? That's what we want to know, right? She said she struggled with mental health her whole life. She knows what it feels like to feel that there is no other way out but endangering your life. She knows what it feels like to lie in bed with your whole body aching because you're so sad and lost. I call that despair. She knows what it feels like to be embarrassed, hide behind humor, hide behind a smile, then go home and cry. And she knows what it feels like to be alone. It wasn't for the love of her mum and her sister at the time. She doesn't know if she'd still be here. Then she had children. So why keep on growing bigger? Why does it keep on growing bigger? Well, she said, when you feel sad, when someone hurts like she hurt, a stranger, a friend, a family member, it doesn't matter. It's always been this way. And I understand it. I relate to this as well. And it's how do you feel in that place? And how do you feel like when you're working out? Well, it's one day at a time. And what did she do to actually recognize what it was? We're going to be also talking about something that she's doing today, her purpose. And this purpose of these beautiful sweatshirts that have wonderful sayings on them, sayings of encouragement, of uplifting, of when somebody is going through a dark cloud, giving them some sunshine, and how important that is, not only to her as part of her own recovery, but also part of how we can reach out to each other almost silently. Sometimes we don't feel we can go up to someone and say, I see you're hurting, or I can feel you're hurting. But if there's something there on a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or something like that that draws in the conversation or just speaks to someone silently, you could have been that person that has given them that proverbial hug that day that they needed, that stopped them going down a different road. And, I so relate with you, Jaime. I know that feeling of despair when somebody's gone into your guts and pulled them right out. And there is no rationality. You can't snap out of it. It's got nothing to do with the intellect. It's an entire feeling of consumption over your very being. And you don't want to feel like this. And you try and do everything you can not to feel like this. But at the same time, you feel powerless against it. So I truly do understand, where you've been at and the struggles that you've had. But you found quite a few ways in actually to come out of that. And there will be a show too in the New Year's, folks, of a transformation physically that has also helped her, which we're going to touch on today. But today it's about those t-shirts and it's about those sayings and it's about how we can reach people when we can't touch people per se. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for that introduction. It made me teary. It's exactly me. So that was beautiful. And it's great that you can relate to me, but sad at the same time.
Unfortunately, there are so many that can relate to us, and it's been what we call the silent disease for so long, where there was a stigma with it. And there was an embarrassment with it. Why can't you get hold of yourself? Snap out of it. Take control. You've got everything. Why are you feeling so sad? And people don't understand. It's either a chemical imbalance or an imbalance within our psyche and our very being. It's not a choice, is it?
It's not a choice. And it's almost like a prisoner in your own mind, really. Trying to find an escape from the constant replaying of the emotions in your head and the fight. For me, I feel like I'm in a straitjacket and I'm trying to wiggle my way free. And the more I wiggle, the tighter it gets. So how I feel when I'm in those moments. when you were speaking about, my sister and my mom, and that's what kept me going. It's um it's amazing how you can keep going when you have people in your life who love you
Mhm.
and who you love.
Yes.
So I feel so sad for those who are
Mhm. Mhm.
alone and not having anybody to talk to, or to even kind of live for, to just go
Yes.
another day for.
Mhm.
So that's um that's where that sadness for me comes from. When I see strangers, I can just feel it. I can feel their sadness. I can
Mhm.
tell they're alone. I can tell they haven't had a hug in forever.
Mhm.
And sharing how, I guess, a normal person can struggle with this, who seems to have it all, is so relatable to so many people. I love speaking about it now.
Yes. But not at the time, right? It's,
No, no.
and especially family members that worry about you. It's something I've been in and out of all my life, but then I was in a turbulent marriage. And so the depression actually went much deeper. But you're trying to be cheerful and everything for your children. No, nothing's wrong with them, but they know it. I mean, kids are
Yeah.
so intuitive, they know when you're lying. And then, like my son in particular, kind of took it on. He felt that he had to fix mum, he had to make mum happy, right? And and as I pointed out to him once, and said, no, no, stop trying to fix me because that makes me feel more broken.
Yep.
Just
Yes.
simply put your arms around me and love me because that is what fortifies me.
And seeing them happy and living and
Yeah.
smiling, that's
Yes.
right. Seeing them
Yes.
live their best life. I was also a fixer. I can relate to your son. I was like that with my mom. I grew up in a household where my dad was a major alcoholic,
Mm.
and I had so many wonderful friends who whose families were not like mine.
They're
So
apple pie families, as we call them.
they were an apple pie family. And my best friends, I've had them since kindergarten. I just told them a couple years ago that my dad was an alcoholic and
Hmm.
what my home life was like. They had no idea.
Yeah. No.
So I pretended for the first, oh gosh, like 45 years of my life that I had the same kind of family as they did. And I was always trying to fix things for my mom and do
Mm.
um make sure I didn't get into trouble, make sure my grades were good, make sure, I did whatever I could to help her, to not add extra stress to her.
Hmm. No rocking the boat.
No rocking the boat, because
Mm-hmm.
you already know that they're
Mm.
going through so much
Yeah.
that you don't want to add to their plate.
Right.
So, keeping that a secret was hard,
Hmm.
really hard, because I looked so normal. I acted so normal. I hung out with the popular kids. I hung out
Hmm.
with the apple pie kids, the,
Hmm.
the ones who went traveling, had beautiful homes, had a dad who worked, a mom who worked. So, keeping that secret is really, really hard.
And part of that problem is that stigma again. When we look at people, alcoholism and addiction is a disease,
Hmm.
right? It is a form of depression. It is a form of a cry for help. People
Hmm.
don't just decide I'm going to hit the bottle for no reason because I like drinking, right? And then lose
Yep.
their family or get angry or, God forbid, do worse, which is what comes, from it. But a great deal of it is society's stigmatization of you are less than, you are weak, you are flawed. And, I'm saying that we take all our wonderful flaws and all the things that have cracked us and broken us, and we put it back together with self-love, and we become flawsome because all of
Mm.
those flaws and all of those broken pieces become more strengthened when we put it back together with self-love. Now we can fill that cup over with love and just let it spill over. And that is really part of the healing, is putting ourselves back together, but having that purpose. When people are stuck in addiction, stuck in alcoholism, stuck in abuse, it is because they feel less than. They have nowhere to turn,
Hmm.
right? They don't feel seen, they don't feel heard. And very often it can be genetic. And
Hmm.
of course, very often it can be the chemistry. So there may
Absolutely.
be a balance that needs to be had medicationally or even in other mediums. But we put such a label on people. We love to do that.
Oh
And
gosh, yes.
right, how detrimental is that?
Yes. I am just thankful that social media did not exist.
Yes.
I was already scared that things could get put out there.
Mm,
Um, but I didn't have to worry about it being on Facebook, Instagram.
mm, hmm
Um, so I am so thankful that social media did not exist, or my stress would have been 100 times worse. My paranoia of
Yeah.
people are going to find out my secret. People are going to find out that I'm not happy, that I am not this funny, happy, smiling, by your
Mm,
side cheerleader friend.
mm,
I am sad, stressed, anxious, angry, and I am hiding so many things and holding in so many things that
hmm
if you could see inside my head, you would
See, chaos and turmoil.
chaos and turmoil.
Mm,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And, people don't realize this, that a lot of, who you are as an adult comes from your childhood.
Hmm.
Most of our injuries come from childhood. External things that happen to us, internal things. I mean, it all is something we get bottled up. And a lot of it is, hide it from the children or suppress it, or a child feels they're going to get mad if I share it, or, I've just got to be hiding in the corner. Or they play up, it's then comes the drugs, then because it's escapism, then becomes the alcoholism, not because their dad or mum did it, is because they understand that they can escape. And
Hmm.
with social media today, that has just put an enormous magnifying glass on it, and stigmatized it even more, because one of the biggest flaws as human beings is our judgment.
Absolutely. And having this cell phone with you all the time and that
Mm,
camera
yeah,
and being able to turn it on onto anybody in any moment in their
yes,
lives that can destroy someone's life in a second just by filming it
absolutely.
and showing it. So I am so thankful that I didn't have to worry that a friend of mine was secretly recording me having a breakdown or
hmm
catching my dad in a moment. Um, I'm so thankful I didn't have to worry about that.
But at the same time, you shouldn't have to worry about it anyway.
Absolutely.
Should be that people are equipped with empathy. They're equipped with a certain amount of skills that when they see somebody having that, what do I do? Let's empower them to know what to do,
Hmm.
not judge what is happening. How dare they judge? Who are they to
Absolutely.
judge?
Absolutely. And now I know as an adult, those friends that I had and I still have, oh, they would have never turned on me. They would have never
Mm,
shared. They would have supported me 100%. So that's what I hope for. I would love
mm,
for people who are kind of hiding in their homes or hiding what's going on to talk to a friend who you can trust and know that you do have some friendships that you can share your life and your struggles with, but just find that person you can trust and don't be embarrassed because
yes.
the more you hold it in, the more it gets to you as an adult.
Ooh, it consumes you. It eats at you, and your
It
very
does.
being.
It does. I didn't turn to alcoholism or drugs. I turned to an abusive boyfriend.
Oh,
So
yes.
I got myself into a relationship where it just took away my years from 15 to 19. And it
hmm
was mental abuse, physical abuse, constant,
hmm
and control, full control.
Yes. Yes.
And so I'm lucky that he didn't take my life
hmm
because he did try to.
hmm
And one of the things I said is if my mom leaves my dad, I will get out of this relationship. And she left my dad and I ended that relationship. But it took until 19 years old. So 4 years I spent almost punishing myself for leaving my home and leaving my sister and my mom to deal with that situation. I
hmm
punished myself by going somewhere where I was getting treated the same way,
Yeah.
but it was me getting treated that way so I could handle it. I wasn't watching my mom suffer.
It
So
was familiar.
it was familiar. And
Mm.
it was the worst time of my life. It took away those so many years from me, but it has also taught me so much too. Things to look for and how to handle getting in those really low moments. So,
And how to put value back on yourself. I mean,
pardon?
this is how to put value back on yourself,
That's hard.
Yes,
That's
it is.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still a work for me. That's
Mm.
still putting value in myself is
It,
still
like I'm 71, and Um, I kind of went for this abuse right up to 50.
Hmm.
Right. So yes, I know it's that's really only in the last couple of years, 2, 3 years, that I have now, no longer the people pleaser. I'm the people, completely recovered. I'm, take
Hmm.
me or leave me. I'm not going to be bothered. I'm not going to let it get to me. And the boundaries are very secure around me now. But for 50 years, I kind of sacrificed myself because I thought that was my role to play, right? Or that
Yes.
I really didn't mount up to something. And
Yes.
a lot of that is that societal dictation of you must be this, you must be thin, you must be pretty, you must be successful, you must be rich, you must have a good social media account, you've got to be seen in the right places, da, 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 da. And if you're not these things, you're less than. Now, I didn't
Absolutely.
grow up with social media, but I still grew up with that pressure.
Yeah, it's that pressure I don't think ever goes away.
No.
It's just learning how to filter it out. But it is hard to keep the noise out of your head when you
Hmm.
are struggling. Not I don't struggle daily anymore, but I do
Hmm.
struggle. So when
Yeah.
those moments come back in
Hmm.
my head, it freezes me. I'm on the couch. I'm almost just frozen.
Hmm.
I can't do anything else. So it's when those things creep back in, it's it can be such a hard time for me, but I'm learn it's not lasting weeks
Right.
at a time now. It's lasting hours. It could last a
Mm.
day. Sometimes, just having a nice hot bath,
Hmm.
feels so much better. It's not lasting like it used to, where I
Right.
was just stuck in my head for so long.
It's going through you now rather than grasping hold of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
feel I feel stronger now.
right.
Yeah.
And in that strength, even though it visits you, okay, this is just a low moment. All right. And I need to go through the process, right? So that it doesn't take
Mhm.
hold of me. I can't ignore it. I need to just go through that. This is the universe telling me self-care,
Mhm.
right? Have the cry, have the whatever it is, do whatever you need to do. And then, but you are looking to come out of it very quickly. And I
Yeah.
think the important thing is to find what it is that resets you, because it's all about out of balance. Music is one for me.
Oh, me
Headphones
too.
on,
Me too. Me too.
and, listening to music is not always about words or lyrics, it's music itself. And the music has been proven scientifically to
Mhm.
reset our equilibrium because the frequencies and certain music resets our out of balance back into sync again. And through that kind of music, just allowing it to penetrate you, resets you back in there. And it also kind of fortifies your heart and soul at the same
Oh,
time.
it does. It does.
Mhm.
Yeah, music is huge for me. And also to walking my dog. Just
Yes.
as much as I don't want to sometimes. It's
Yeah.
pouring down rain. He needs it, and I don't want to do it often, but I get out there, I walk him, and I feel so much better.
Yeah.
It's like I can take a breath and I just the fresh air, even if it's raining, I don't care. It feels so much better. I know I feel better after doing that.
But
So,
it's also the doggy love. I
yeah,
mean,
it is.
dogs are
Yes.
such wonderful therapy. They really
Yeah,
know you and they know, when they come and snuggle up, we think it's them that want a hug. It's them hugging us.
absolutely.
Have you seen
Absolutely.
that doggy podcast thing on Facebook?
No.
Oh, on the Facebook Reels, you got to look at it. It's dog podcasts and it's dogs with headphones on and a microphone, and they're talking, about various things. Sometimes it's just hilarious, and sometimes they talk about something so profound and that you kind of look at a dog in a different way. They are
Oh,
wonderful, these doggy podcasts. And
oh, I'll have
clearly
to look.
people behavior them are animal, behavioral therapists, they
That is
know.
so cute. That is
So
so cute.
and sometimes that's also what we need to do. What is going to take us out of head
Hmm.
and make us laugh or make us cry or take us somewhere else? And I think one of the worst things when you hit depression is to do nothing. Yes, you need sometimes just to love and nurture yourself. But it's also sometimes before it takes hold of you, we've got to go and do something to be proactive.
Hmm.
Because one of the things I found with depression, if I wasn't being of service somewhere, I felt useless. So I had to be of service.
Yes.
That's actually what got me into podcasting, an article on that about being in service. So that actually
Oh,
got someone to invite me to be a podcast host on her network. So that was over 13 and a half years ago. So you never know where it's going to take you. But
yeah, podcasting I think is such a great platform to get so
mm,
much information out. So
yes.
it's always interested me, but of course that part of me that still holds me back is scared. So it's, I'm doing new things all the time to
Hmm.
get me to where I want to be. I don't really know where I want to be yet, but I'm working towards just pushing myself.
One
And
step at a time.
yeah, absolutely,
That
absolutely.
society says, take the leap, do the jump. No. The biggest leap you will take is that first step. As
Mhm.
long as you are taking a step aware, allowing, paying attention, you'll
Mm.
see the path before you that is going to lead you where you need to go. But so many people are just kind of chasing that destination that they don't understand. It's got nothing to do with the destination. It's everything about what you learn on the journey. And we don't pay attention of the journey, the step, every step that we take, what is our surroundings, the people that we meet, what has influence on us, what's
Mhm.
guiding us, who are we becoming because of this journey. If we immerse ourselves in the actual journey, we will find that's where the healing is, that's where the discovery is.
Absolutely. I always wanted to get to Z and
Mm.
start at V. And so that would be quicker. It's just, having the patience now and knowing you
Mm.
start at A and you have to work your way through. And if you don't, that's where anxiousness comes in, stress comes in. You
Yes.
get down because you're not where you think you should be. So just going and doing it step by step and finding the right people you had said finding your energy, those
Yeah.
right people who give you the same energy, that good energy, surrounding yourself around those people is key because
Yes.
you know when you're around the wrong people. You
Oh
know.
God, they're vampires.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. No.
Absolutely. And I have allowed myself to stay around those people because I feel they need me.
Mhm.
I make them feel better. They say just love being around you, but it comes at my own expense. So learning to pull away from that and
Boundaries.
boundaries is a
Mm.
hard one. Boundaries is really
Mm.
hard. That's a hard
Yeah.
one.
And you'll
Figuring those
find
out.
that, more and more as you walk forward with those boundaries, you're not leaving the people behind, right? Because inspiration begets invitation. When
Mm,
they see what you become because you chose to take the journey, you chose to make that self-discovery, you chose to place value upon yourself, then it becomes something that's an invitation for them. Right?
mhm,
We know that we felt better around her positive energy. What if I had positive energy for myself? What if I invested in myself? What if I was willing to take that journey and not look for the quick fix, but really do it from the very seeding, the very rooting, the very allowing of the growth of myself, and just take the journey. And those that choose to, as
mhm,
and this is where the triumph is. I used to be the hare rather than the tortoise. I'm a visionary and I could see everything, like, oh, you want a hotel? And the hotel will look like this. This would be the decoration. This would be the color scheme. This would be this. This is how people were feeling it. I could take you right to the finished product, but I
mhm.
wasn't the builder. I wasn't the founder. I was the visionary. I've now become the tortoise and I am meeting the builders. And I am meeting the blueprinters and the inspirers and helping things to grow from the ground up. And it's so much more meaningful and still seeing the vision, but
Absolutely.
I've reversed it.
And what's nice is working with someone who can see the vision. They can see what you can become
Yes.
if you just put the work in, which is good and bad. You can see what someone can become, and the frustration can be that they aren't doing what they need to do to become what they can become.
Yes.
It can be very frustrating, and it can be
Yes.
so rewarding as well, to
Uh-huh.
see someone just go from, A to Z and
Mm.
and do it successfully and really show off your vision. And you can just see it in people. You can see what they can
Yeah.
be. And watching them get to that point is so rewarding. Um,
There is nobody out there like you when we look at Oprah Winfrey, the mentor, we
mm,
look at Wayne Dyer, you look at your Tony Robbins, you look at your or Jay Shetty's, everybody that is out there that is that I wish to be like them, all had a turbulent journey. The
mhm,
difference is they stopped being the victim of what happened to them and took what happened to them to strengthen who they are and who they wish to become. They allowed the process, they allowed the growth. And I think when we stop looking at it's happening to me,
mhm.
instead, okay, it's happening for me. What am I meant to learn from this? Everything is a lesson in life, everything. What am I meant to learn? And when you pay attention to what it is you're meant to learn, whether it's a comma, a full stop, or a full sentence,
Mhm.
right? It will be revealed when we're ready to receive. And we can't receive if we're in victim mode.
Absolutely. And I am listening now to
Mm.
everything that comes my way. And it's some things will come and it was like, oh, this was sent to me years ago.
Yes.
But I didn't listen to it.
Yes.
So there is a time for everything. And
Yeah.
you have to remember that it might not be right now, but it
Hmm.
will be one day. And just keep that positivity in your head and just remember that it can be one day and to really just push through
Keep
it
that
and
flame alive,
keep that
even in
flame
the dark
alive.
times, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, you really have to. Um, one of the, I think, so when my mom left my dad, I was just turned 19 and I moved in with her and my stepdad. And that was kind of like the first time where I just knew I don't want to be here anymore.
Hmm.
And nightly, I was taking so much Tylenol to just try and end it. And I
Yes.
did it for so long and nothing was happening. Um, my mom
Other than
didn't know.
breaking your organs down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't tell anybody, but my stepdad, who barely knew me, had said to my mom, something's wrong.
Yeah.
She is not okay. You need to talk to her. And my mom would have never thought that I would
Mm.
do something like that. And when she said, are you suicidal? And I said, yes.
Mm.
And as much as I didn't want to, because I did not want to hurt her feelings, I started just bawling my eyes out. And we were at the doctor's and working through it right away.
Hmm.
But I so much wanted to say no.
Mm.
So much wanted to say no.
Just hide
And
it. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. And,
Well,
but
you
the,
wanted to be strong for her, right? You had this illusion of strength for everybody else, and
yeah,
nobody saw what was crumbling inside of you. You
yes.
probably don't even want to admit it.
No, no. It is, it's such a dark time.
Mm.
And thank God nothing happened
Mm.
because it's not, I look back at it now and oh, I'm so thankful that my my destiny wasn't that. I'm so happy
And
because
it takes somebody from the outside.
it
Your
does. It
stepdad
does.
is that somebody's always known you. They see the facade of you. When
Hmm.
you've got somebody from the outside looking in, they're kind of picking up different energy from you, right? And they're seeing things differently that others can't see. And this is why, for so many people, it's a perfect stranger that
Hmm.
pivots them in another direction because you're setting something off. Your vibration is setting something off that other people are used to, and so they
Hmm.
don't see the distress call.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I am so thankful that he noticed that.
Yes.
And I got help, but I was 19
Mm.
and I was sent to a counselor. And it's kind of the chicken and the egg
Mm.
situation where it is you need to get out, you need to get a job, you need to do all these things to get
All
going.
band-aid
But I
stuff.
can't
Yes.
get going because I'm depressed.
You're
Well, you're
right.
depressed because you can't do these things. It's like, yeah, I know. And you know what? You're actually making me feel worse
Hmm.
because you're telling me all these things that I need to do. I know I need to do these things. It's getting the strength to
Wow.
do it.
How? Yes.
Yes. And I felt like I was just given the wrong help at the
Yeah.
time. And I thought, I am not taking antidepressants. I am not relying on these for
Mm.
my mood. I'm not doing this. I can be happy. I don't want to have to be on a pill my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a long time for me to get past the embarrassment of, okay, I need to be on medication. I need something to help that chemical imbalance
Mm-hmm.
and to keep me kind of at a level playing field.
Mm-hmm.
And through a lot of trials, I still went through a lot of depression and being down and thinking in my head and okay, this is it. I'm going to do it. And, there was a doorbell. The
Yeah.
doorbell rang and it was a stranger at the door um, at that same moment. So
Mm-hmm.
I look back now and it's like, oh, yeah, those were all signs coming in at
Yes.
me saying,
Yeah.
no, this is not your
Not your
time.
time.
Not your
Mm-hmm.
time. Not your time.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to keep going.
Yeah.
Um, but the
Uh,
sadness that you feel is so overwhelming.
I know. People don't understand that. You know, if the last 8 years of my marriage, I kind of retreated into myself. I'm a
Mhm.
very spiritual being, a spiritual counselor, and my spirit was broken. And
Mm.
so I retreated into myself, and everybody saw the facade of the mother, the wife, they being there for everyone else. But inside of myself, I was hiding because of the piranha abuse. I didn't suffer from physical abuse. It was, if you're a Harry Potter fan, the Death Eaters,
Oh, okay.
right, suck the life out of you, suck the energy out of you. And that actually where my illness started because my whole
Mm.
body broke down. And and I was in that darkness and I could see the light and it was saying, come on out. It's safe to come out. And I got, no, the world is so mean. Everybody's so nasty to each other.
Mm.
I'm here to ignite the heart, souls, and spirits of people and love and creativity and possibility. And everybody just wants to hurt each other. I don't want to be out there. And
Yes.
eventually one day I came out and, at first it's very blinding. It's just
Yeah.
too bright. And I felt shadows were chasing me. And then I realized that the shadows were the contouring of the light to give it shape and meaning.
Hmm.
And so now I'm happily to go in the dark, for I am the light in the dark. And when I go into the dark now, it is not darkness consume me. It is darkness giving me a blank slate to reflect what it is I need to see and know in that moment. But it was that willingness to come out and go through the process, feeling blinded, feeling chased, seeing the contouring, seeing the shape, and seeing
Hmm.
my life reveal itself. And I'm not saying it was, A to Z. No, it took me, A to B, and then to maybe F for a while, and then, a little bit of a cha-cha, back to E, and then back up again. And as the years went by, the more and more when I stepped into purpose and the more and more I stepped into something that came from my heart and my soul, um, it started allowing me to become at home with myself, at home with the core of my being, which is my spiritual being, which I had disconnected for so long. And it took a while. There still were times where I felt knocked back and then I had to lick my wounds and then get back up and move forward again. But the thing is even if you feel sometimes that knocks you down, it's not, it's starting all over again. It's asking you to pause for a couple of reasons. Maybe you need to nurture yourself. Maybe this is time where you actually need to give yourself some self-love and some nurture to reset yourself. But also it's a maybe for you to look back and go, look how far you've come. Look how far you come. Because
Hmm.
that is such a motivator to keep on going.
That hits. That is, that clicks. That's exactly how you described it with the shadow. Everything that you described is exactly how I felt. And when getting knocked down is
Mm.
it's sometimes for me, it's like, oh, it's because I've been doing so well. The universe is reminding me, Jamie, don't be feeling so good. We got to take you back down there. So
Universe doesn't do that. that's
yeah. And
that's
so
the human mind.
looking exactly. So thinking, changing that mindset of
Yes.
look how far you've come, or
Yes.
take a break, take a breath,
Yeah.
nurture yourself. So that was like a aha kind of moment that clicked for me.
So a different aha moment is you deciding to have these wonderful sayings on clothing that can speak silently to people, because sometimes we want to go up to someone or we want to say, but we don't know what to say, we don't know what to do. will we be in their space, or will I say the wrong thing that could trigger something? And
Hmm.
so have a something on a piece of clothing that, is, oh God, I feel that speaking to me. Right?
Absolutely.
And that could be just a pivot. It could be a hug. It could be a nurturing, just those words. So
Absolutely.
what inspired you to do this?
Um, so the glow part is for me, I've always been in the background.
Mm,
I will be your cheerleader. I will support you. I will give you ideas, but please don't celebrate me.
hmm
Please, please, please. So I've always wanted to sit in the background and not get noticed. So the glow part for me is glow. Show your worth, show your value. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and don't be afraid to not let others celebrate your wins. Let people celebrate you and brag
Yes,
about you.
yes.
So that glow part kind of it came from that. So Glow with Me by Jamie is just get out there and celebrate your ability to shine. And the, just keeping your light bright. Don't dim it. Don't extinguish it.
hmm
Just keep it bright. Keep shining. You are worth it, and you have that ability to make someone's day better. You are
Yes,
worth it. You're worth it to stay
yes.
here, and you're worth to keep your light shining bright. It might not seem like you can do it today,
hmm
but just don't put it out. Don't put that light out.
Right. No,
Don't put that light out.
no.
Um,
I
and so
mean, it's okay if it dims sometimes.
absolutely,
Because the
absolutely.
end of that is the time for nurturing. I call
Mhm.
it the cosmic nudge, nudge, wink, wink, and if you don't pay attention, cosmic two by four.
Absolutely,
And I had
absolutely.
one of those last week, which flattened me with a migraine that set everything off, triggered in
Mhm.
my body, and for 5 days flattened. And I thought, I've got so much to do. I can't lose this time. And the universe is saying, I'm going to flatten you even more if you don't shut up and look after yourself, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And we've got to pay attention to the nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yep. Yeah, and that is what happened to lead me to being off from my job was
Mm,
that, when you said that getting hit by a two by four, that's exactly what it felt
mm,
like. And it actually stopped me in my tracks. And I just was like, what just happened to me? I just
hmm
felt something in my body like
Yeah.
say, you're done.
Yeah.
And I went back to my work computer and kept going, wasn't drinking my water, wasn't eating, had to get
Mm,
everything done. And the next day, my whole body just completely shut down.
exactly.
And it's been hard to get through that and kind of get through the defeat of not being able to do it all. Um,
It's not defeat.
and see, yeah, so
This is one of
that's
the things we got to
hard.
change our verbiage.
Yeah, so that's hard for me is
Uh,
I feel like a loser for not being able to, you know, work 5 days a week, take care of the kids, take them to sports, do all that stuff. And that's hard. But I
yeah.
had to listen when I finally listened to that. And I still ignore it on occasion. And it
hmm
does. It puts me right back on my
hmm
butt. And it's
hmm
like,
Do you
okay,
hear me now?
yes, yes. So I know exactly how that feels. My body will just get puffy. I get so sore. Um, my head is just a mix of everything. And it's like you have to slow down. Remember how you got to this in the first place.
hmm
So keep you have to slow down. Remember
Yeah.
what got you in the worst place ever, and don't go there again. So
Right, exactly.
only take on what you can handle. And
Exactly. And that is okay, right?
yes.
If like you can only handle ABC today, you don't have to go through the whole alphabet. What are you trying to prove? Right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
last week, the universe worked with me. I had two people postpone a show because they had to take family to emergency, and I had somebody not turn up. And it actually ended up being a gift for me because I could take time for me instead of like the week before, which was 6 shows and busy, busy, busy. And I only
Hmm.
work 3 days a week and then I look after grandkids. And
Oh,
so I couldn't, I had the grandkids overnight on Wednesday. And they came to pick them up and they slept over and they came to pick them up on Thursday morning. My eyes were like slits and there is pounding going on. And so the next 2, 3 days, 4 days, flattened,
Yes.
absolutely
And
flattened.
yes. So I had met you at that one event.
Hmm.
And so after something like that, the next day I can't do anything. So
Yeah.
my body's just I can only handle so much.
Do
And
you have fibromyalgia?
a lupus fibromyalgia, yeah.
Yes,
So
I have fibromyalgia because it sounds
yeah.
extremely familiar.
Yeah. And that is such a the autoimmune,
Hmm.
that's a whole other thing in itself.
Yes. Next
Especially
show.
because it's in, yeah, especially because it's invisible.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
really get
You look all right. Why can't you do it?
yes. It's
What
not
do
like
you
you
mean
have a
you're sore?
cast. I have a
Yeah.
cast on, I have a broken arm.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
you look fine and you're functioning, but it's like so after
It's
that,
like depression. It's invisible.
yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. So it all just goes together. So,
Yeah.
autoimmune disease was bound to happen with everything I held in for so long and still kind of hold in. So, but it's such an invisible disease and it's just something else that you put on yourself when you're already struggling mentally.
And again, that's where the boundaries come in. That's where it's okay to say no, not today. That's where family, friends, or colleagues, you say, it's a, you can label it day. It's
Mhm.
a cloudy day, and they understand. Don't ask more of you. This is
Absolutely.
for them to step up in the plate. Unfortunately, when you are like this, either with the mental health or then you're always trying to be there for other people because it could essentially be one other people to be there for us, but
Mhm.
we don't allow anybody else to be there for us because we
No.
think if they are there for us, that means we're needy. No, I'm not needy. I'm here for you. It's slap, slap, slap. Get out of
Or
yourself.
I feel I'm
It's
not
okay
doing
to ask
enough.
for
Yes.
help.
Yes.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
I'm not doing enough because now you're helping me. Oh, I'm not doing enough for you then. I
Yes,
must have some free
yes.
time.
And I think that's
So,
that's a huge thing to do with people who have mental health challenges because we are so busy trying to help everyone else, we feel less than if somebody are having to, and that was, I would say, that and self-forgiveness was one of the hardest things I had to learn, is to let other people help me. And there's a way that somebody, put it at, Sarah, you love helping people, right? You get a lot of gratification if what you do can help somebody pivot in the right direction, right? You get a lot of joy from it. Yes. Why are you denying other people the joy to help you?
hmm.
Right? Why am I denying other people who want to help me? They're not looking at me with pity, which we think they are,
Hmm.
because we've got a little self-pitying going on. They're looking at you, look, I have this ability, I have this expertise, I have this caring. Let me help you. It fortifies them, it makes them feel good, and it helps you. Why are we not allowing it? Why are we denying them the gift and the pleasure?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because maybe thinking about it that way, it can take away some of the guilt you feel.
Yes, yes. We don't have to be all and end all for everyone, not
Mm-hmm.
even for ourselves. Back to the flawsome. There isn't a
Love that
human
word.
walking, it's a beautiful word. I love
I
that
love
word.
it.
It's there isn't a person walking this earth that doesn't have some side of flaw of some kind. And if you can call it a flaw, I mean, the Japanese take a broken bowl, put it back together with gold, and
Mm,
now it is flawsome, it is beautiful, it is priceless. And I said, when we put our pieces back together with self-love, there is no breaking it apart. And when we have put everything back together with self-love, that love just wants to resonate and fill that cup up and run it over. But it's coming from a place of strength. It's coming from a place of ownership, of self-responsibility. We can't really truly share that love with other people if we do not have that love for self.
yeah, that's true. That is true. That's true. Um, yeah, keeping your cup kind of full
Mm-hmm.
is so important.
Oxygenate yourself, right?
Yes. Yes. If that plane goes down, you put your mask on first.
Exactly. You can't be of
Yeah.
any help if you're flattened on the ground, right?
Yes.
And it's the same thing with love. And an awful lot of people always looking for love in all the wrong places, right? And it's like, well, I give love when I'm not getting it back. You close the door on it. You
Hmm.
don't think you're worthy of that love.
Absolutely. Yes, I've
right?
seen that. I've seen
Hmm.
that. I see it. I see that. One of the other things that I was talking to you about when we were there, and it's it's a question that I often think about. I think about the few people I know, well, sadly, the few people I know who have committed suicide.
Hmm.
And my my thought is, are, were they the brave ones to do it,
Mm,
or was I the brave one to stay?
mm.
And I fight with that all the time. Like to go through with that. Is
Yes.
that is that is that braveness? Is that their destiny? Is that just, maybe I didn't feel my this is it moment.
Yeah.
And so that's why I didn't make that choice. But I always ask that. Are they brave for doing it, or am I brave
To staying.
for staying?
I'm going to share a little story, but my one perspective on that is that if you were on the other side and asked 90, 80% of the people that committed suicide, they would say, I was just calling for help. I didn't mean to die. Right. And I think
Yeah.
it's a call for help that just sometimes is to such despair that they know nothing else. So that's my perspective on that. But I mean, living in South Africa in beautiful Cape Town,
Mm.
I had a sports car, I had my dog, and there's a beautiful road that's carved into the mountain, and then it's a sheer drop into the ocean. And there's a corner that comes out with a big, huge rock there, and you can park there and just overlook the view. It's absolutely spectacular. But they never put a railing on it. There's an awful lot of people who committed suicide over there. And I'm
Mm.
driving along, and I have been given a new antidepressant.
Oh.
And my dog started barking at me, and I barked back at her. Beautiful border collie called Candy. And she pawed me, and I pawed her, right? I'm like this. She took her entire body and threw it on top of me. And I'm driving stick. And so my foot came off the pedal, the stick kind of jumped back into neutral. And when I came to a stop, my tires were on the edge of that cliff. I had no intention to commit suicide, but these pills had made me felt that I could fly. How did she know? She saved our lives that day. And that's the thing is that drug was taken off the market because too many people did commit suicide from the hallucinations, right? So it was taken off the market, and I was damn goddamn lucky. Is that we never know where our angels come that
No.
kind of stop us in a moment. I had no intentions of it. For me, it was definitely hallucination, but I have been on the edge of that cliff a few times myself.
Hmm.
Obviously, when I became a mother, is I won't do this to my children.
Hmm.
And I have known mothers who've committed suicide, and I know the effect it's had on their kids.
Yes.
Wouldn't do to my children. But before children, it was like, would anyone miss me? But it's always when I got to that edge, there always was something or someone that pulled me back. So clearly I was, not meant to. I was
Hmm.
meant to learn. I was meant to struggle through it. And I think I use the word struggle instead of suffer. Suffering, I think, is a choice. And we
Yes,
can
absolutely.
suffer or we can struggle. When we struggle, we have more power to come out of it, to face these challenges, to find what works for us. As I said, music for me, animals for me,
Me
holding my
too.
grandbabies for me.
Oh.
I've got a 6 week old grandson and a 2.5 and a 4.5. And, the amount of love that I get from them is fortifying, exhausting, but fortifying completely.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
And so the thing is, it's finding something on that journey of recovery of what resets your equilibrium. Music, nature. I mean, you going out for a walk in nature, the beautiful thing about a forest is it communicates with each other. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you've seen this on social media, but there are wonderful reels where they show where they hook up to a plant and they have a device that takes an instrument and hears the music that each of those plants or trees or something is making. And each one of them is harmonious and making music. Nature speaks and speaks to us all the
Mm.
time. Our conscious doesn't get it, but our subconscious, our DNA does. And that's why being out in nature or being in water as a conduit, allowing the wind to blow through your hair and clear things up. That's why when you go for a walk with your dog, right? It's not just the exercise, it's also the joy of the dog being passed on to you. It's your surroundings, feeding and thing. One of the things we've got to do is what's our due diligence that resets us?
Yes,
Step away from
absolutely.
toxic people, right? Learn to say no, learn
Hmm.
to walk away, and go and find that place that resets you and brings you peace. That is our discovery. Only we can make that to find out where is that space that makes us feel safe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I I would like to know what drug that was because that might have
I
been
don't know
I
that
was
I'm
on.
going back to the early
Yeah,
70s, though.
I did have a very horrible experience with one as well. Um, but yeah, going through what those drugs can do to you as well is
Yes,
another thing that you need to be aware of. You almost need someone to be watching you to make sure things you aren't acting different or making
yes,
impulse decisions or
yes.
um, I did have a psychotic break at one point dealing with my the illness from being off of work and having to deal with the insurance company
Mm,
for LTD and the stress from that, it
mm,
caused a psychotic break. And so managing through finding proper medication, people to watch you and make sure, that's just
yes,
not normal.
yeah,
Something's just different. You need to have people around you who are aware of kind of what your normal is. Because if I had done something to myself because of my history, it would have been, yeah, because she was depressed. And it would never have been looked at. Like if you had gone
yes,
over that
exactly.
cliff,
Hmm.
would they have known it was she was depressed, so she
Hmm.
probably did it on purpose. They would have never known that that drug had been making you feel a certain way. So,
In my case, is that my family never really kind of acknowledged the depression because my mum
yeah.
would have it not talked about. I found out many years later that my grandfather, who was a colonel in the British Army in India, my mum and the family left India when she was 12, went to live in London. She was told her father was dead because he was institutionalized. And
Oh.
most probably it was post-traumatic stress. But in those days, didn't know what that was. You were just off your rocker. And he spent many years in there. And she met him in her 70s and was told it was an uncle and not her father.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
So, obviously, this is systemic in the
Hmm.
family, right? And that does have a lot to do with it. It's that DNA gene that's in there because sometimes it's like, why? I should be happy. Why is this
Yes.
happening? And that
Yes.
can be the chemistry in the DNA. It's
Yes.
like, do not put blame on yourself. But at the same time, hold yourself accountable for your thoughts, for your
Hmm.
action. Pay attention to the triggers, right? Pay attention to, oh, whew, oh, I am feeling it. That is the nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You do not want the cosmic 2x4. Do I need to remove myself? I do have the very lowest grade of Prozac pills for if I
Mm.
go down the rabbit hole. I had a period where I went down the rabbit hole and I couldn't get out of my own. So I took the pills for a while to get out. I
Hmm.
haven't taken them in 2 or 3 years. I haven't needed to because now I have found I'm nowhere near the rabbit hole. But if I
Right.
do feel off at any time, I know what to do to reset myself.
Hmm.
So you can get out of this, folks. You can.
Yes, you can. You
Even
really
more
can.
today, we can talk about it, and even more today, there's less stigma and shame around it, and more today, it's something that we're looking into, and what the solutions are. In my day, not brushed under the rug, right?
Absolutely.
So it's knowing what, listening to your body, listening to, and also your verbiage, how you speak to yourself,
Hmm.
right? Because oh, you stupid idiot, this and that. Oh no, your body doesn't. It's hearing the words and the vibration that's with those words and immediately goes into shame, blame, right? Feeling less than as opposed to, it's okay, you got this, you can get through this instead of empowering it. So put yourself around people that are positive and start talking positively to yourself.
Yes,
And a good
absolutely.
practice of that is talking in the mirror.
Yes, it is. It is. And I do that. I do that. I'll have, some post-its around and I do that. Um, Another thing I would like to do too is, really um connect, like if I could connect with the younger,
Yes.
the ones in high school and those, those who are struggling. So many are ending their lives
Mm-hmm.
either on purpose or drugs and,
Yeah.
overdosing. So, there's such a need for people to just listen and understand. I don't have a diploma, degree, anything
No.
like that. I just have the experience.
And that
And
speaks volumes.
yeah, and I know what it feels like, and I know what it feels like in that moment.
Hmm.
And I would love to just be available for anybody to just say, "Hey, this is what I'm feeling right now," and just help them work through that if
Yeah.
I can. And
Now
that's what
let's
I'm
talk.
hoping the profits go.
Right.
The profits from the sweatshirts go to places that can help. They have these people with their degrees and who
Mm,
have the education. Hopefully they also have, the personal struggle as well, so they can relate to them. So the money can go to those who can actually provide the help who are educated.
right.
Yeah, so I really
Or
want
somebody who can
that.
relate.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Like you have, hoodies, you have hats.
Yes.
You can customize a saying, or you can take a saying that's very, very powerful. That's the thing is, if if there are teachers or if there are people that want to give something to somebody, it's like here. What type of sayings do you put on there? What kind of items are they? Can you customize them? Where are you getting your sayings? Let's spill the beans on that.
So my sayings just, came to me as something. Just I do some writing. I'm not a writer, but I do, there are moments where I can just write out my thoughts. And so they have just come to me, and then inputting my thoughts into ChatGPT to create something that makes sense.
Hmm.
Sometimes I just can't get my thoughts out properly to
Yeah,
make it make sense. So, just keeping that light on and, sharing your light and keeping it bright. Um, you can definitely, if there is something that really speaks to you and it's like, I want this, this is what I want the back of my sweatshirt to say, we can do that.
right.
One of the things that I love is having the phone number, if you are
Yes.
struggling on the inside of the cuff. Um, we are going to make the edit to have the caller text
Hmm.
number because it seems, everybody's got their cell phone. So
Yes.
we will edit
Are you
that.
putting a QR code there as well?
Yeah, yeah, we'll do a QR code. Um, I am going to keep the little heart with my initials at the pocket,
Yes.
just as a reminder, as I am thinking of you. Anybody who buys
Yeah.
that sweatshirt, I'm there with you. And then we've got a ton of colors to choose from. We did add in the green, like you suggested the green. It's a really pretty green. Um,
And green is extremely healing, folks. So,
yeah, yeah, it's a beautiful color. A nice lilac color,
hmm.
navy, black, pink. The men seem to really like the black,
Hmm.
so the black with the white. And then I do have a couple of the sweatshirts here with the sayings on them. I don't know if
Can you
you're
show
able.
us?
Yeah. So I don't know how much of it you can see.
Okay, just show it up a little bit. Glow with me. Your light changes the world. Please don't put it out.
Yes.
Right. So that will be on the back.
Correct. And then the front.
Would be is glow with the glow type sign.
Yeah.
Right. And
And
when women get kids and people's heads out of their damn phones while they're walking, to see that, you hear all the time people saying, I just bumped into someone and they said something, and I was going to go home and end it all, but something they said changed it. And so now what you're doing is that same type of thing on a sweatshirt or on a t-shirt or whatever else. And just it could be what somebody is needing to hear. Right.
absolutely.
And that's what I call like that silent embrace,
Mm.
that silent support. Right. And if somebody then comes up to you and says, well, I love your t-shirt, I love the saying, now they're wanting to engage. So engage
Hmm.
with them. But if it's just something they've read and it's fortified them, then you may never know. But that the whole point of it is you never know.
Exactly. Exactly. So just, wearing a simple piece of clothing can change someone's day, can change their life. So I'm, it's always been something I've wanted to do. I've always wanted to share my struggles, my story, and let people know that you're not alone and you don't
Yeah,
have to be embarrassed. Um,
exactly. No blame, no shame.
Absolutely. And just really putting it out there that there's so many. I guarantee you will talk to someone and they will say, "Oh, I know exactly how you feel."
Yeah.
I lost someone to suicide, and when I mention that, I'm amazed and saddened by the people who say, "Oh, we just lost somebody," or
Hmm.
they have lost somebody, and it's so unbelievable the amount of people that we lose to suicide. And if I can just help keep somebody here a little bit longer, it would be,
Hmm.
that's amazing for me.
There is fast suicide and there's slow suicide.
Mm,
Slow suicide, very often that addiction, alcohol, drugs, self-abuse, um, given up, don't want to know they're going down that rabbit hole.
mhm,
And then, the fast suicide where they kind of take their life in the moment. And I've always been a person that people reach out to me when they've lost someone. Just, I don't know why, but it just seems to be that way. And for me, it's like I lost my dad when I was 11. So,
mhm,
and I've lost quite a number of people around me. And, it comes to this, we feel the loss because they're not there physically anymore. But let us remember the imprint. Let
mhm,
us remember the energy through the memories, through the joy. And every time we remember them in a joyful moment, in a loving, caring moment, we're keeping them alive.
mhm,
They're alive in us within our memories. Don't feel the pain of it, feel the joy of it, right? The pain is you can't talk, touch, or hold anymore, or the way that they chose to go and you feel like you let them down is still their choice. We
mhm.
have to understand that. But I think the worst thing you can do, and I've known people who've done this, um, out of sight, out of mind. If I don't think about them, I won't hurt. No, you'll hurt more. And
Absolutely.
you have to go through the grieving process. You have to have the tears unapologetically, or you have to have those moments. I just simply miss them. And you've also then got to look at a good memory. And
Hmm.
in that good memory, they're with you. They
Hmm.
are always with you in your memories, in the way they make you feel through that memory. That's how we honor them. That's how they live on. And I think,
Absolutely.
if it's changing the way we look at death in general, right? And yes, it's the end of the physical, but it's not the end of the essence.
No, it's not.
Mm.
No. Yeah, I can feel his energy and his spirit around me, and that helps.
Yes,
Um, it's allowing myself to feel that. That's something else that if you can allow that, that's life changing too. Just allow
it
to
is.
feel what's
It
around
is.
you.
And a lot of people have the guilt around, like, could I have done more? Should I have seen this and that? And we've got to remember that, yes, we have busy lives. But this is, I always say, when you're aware, you care. When you care, you do something about it, but you can't be unaware. As you said, if somebody is seeing something off in someone, don't brush it off,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether you talk to someone close to them or you go and talk to them, hey, I'm feeling something's off.
Hmm.
And oh no, brush it. No, please don't brush me off. Please don't do that to me because they don't want to hurt you. Please don't do
Absolutely.
that to me. I'm going to go away worried. Will you please put my mind at ease?
Hmm. Ooh, I like that.
And
I
then
like that.
for them, it's like they don't want you worried,
Yeah.
right? And it all depends on what level they're at. But I think is again, if we're inviting them to care for us,
Hmm.
then they can see how much we care for them.
Hmm. I like that.
There's always things we can do that we learn through trial and tribulation. Death is inevitable for all of us.
Hmm.
One of the things that people don't put the emphasis on is living.
Absolutely.
We look at surviving, achieving, gathering, but we don't look at living, participating in our own life, our own essence, our own beingness. And if we could only step into the essence and the being and the energy of who we are and what we're here to do, we'll step into the joy of living.
Hmm.
And we'll actually understand it hasn't got highs and lows. It's a wonderful rhythm that just flows all the time. And when you're in that flow, you're in that know, that knowingness, knowing what you need to know when you need to know it. And you're riding in loving peace. Peace isn't something you achieve by the whole world calming down. It's you want peace in the world, you want love in the world, be the love, be the peace.
And absolutely, that is exactly what it is. You have to be it.
Yes,
Have to be it. Yeah.
yes,
It reminded me of I had just done this post of, you know, you're going to a busy mall and you see this parking spot, but you think, oh, I bet I can find a better parking spot. So you drive past that parking spot looking for the one that's supposed to be better. Meanwhile, you're farther away and that parking spot is now gone. I find that we're always looking for something better. We have a great song on the
yes,
radio, we love it. Oh, but maybe a station's playing even a better song, so I'm going to change it and just check. So just always looking for something better. And
yeah,
so I like that. Just be the peace, be the love.
yes. We put so much pressure on ourselves to be what society has dictated us. But let's please, let's take a look at society. It's effed up, folks. And it's because we've been living by these basically corporation expectation, religion and corporation and politics, and a lot of the school system, hence my book, I've Forgotten Children, which is addressing that. If we could take a child and see the essence and the gift of what they are and nurture that child in its own self-discovery of what it's meant to do with its gift, we will have a society that is so enriched and abundant. But instead, we have them conform to the
Mhm,
teachings, to the doctrine, and to the submission of what society wants it to be. And then as we grow up, is be submissive. Do not place importance. Now, self-importance is very different. That means you think you are bigger than you are. But the
mhm,
importance of self is that love and joy of being who you are, which is essential. What do you need to do to be that love? Right? And people that are self-important are chasing that approval of love on the
mhm,
outside. Everything is an inside out job. So I think we have to look at what society has done wrong and we have
mhm,
to correct it. We can't correct it by going to politicians or corporations because they make too much money out of it. What we have to do is change it at a societal perspective of each and every one of us and our accountability is stepping forth
mhm,
lovingly, caringly, kindly, supportively, and be that love and peace that we seek.
mhm.
We are the answer, but we've got to become first.
I agree. That's beautifully said. One of the things I always say, there's beauty in the struggle. So,
Yes,
yeah, there's beauty in the struggle. So when you were talking about struggle, it was, yeah, and there's beauty in it.
yes.
So,
You discover your courage, your
yeah.
strength, your abilities. God, I didn't know I had this in me. I didn't know I could do this. I didn't know I could be so much more because we're
Mhm.
brought up to be small. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden we start finding our wings and they start flapping. I've got different type of wings in my arms now.
Me too.
But that discovery, this is why this is called self-discovery wisdom. That wisdom is accessible every time, all the time. It's within us. When we activate that wisdom from our soul, our heart, and our spirit, the mind knows what it needs to know in the moment
Hmm.
to do what it is we need to do. We've got to stop thinking, which is doctrine, and start feeling.
Yes, you really do. Listen to that gut.
Yeah,
Listen to
yeah.
that gut. Listen to
Hmm.
that gut. That's something I do now. I listen to everything around me now, and it's made a huge difference.
Yes. The
Huge
universe
difference.
is always speaking to you.
It really is.
Always.
It
Yes.
really is.
So we're not aware. And again, when you switch on that aware and you allow,
Mm-hmm.
and then you participate,
Mm-hmm.
right? It isn't about just viewing, it's participating in your own life, in your own recovery, in your own meaningful purpose, right? Participate. You're not here to spectate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And that's the thing is we are so much more than we've allowed ourselves to be because we've allowed society to dictate. And we will never live up to the illusion. Look at the stars that we've put on pedestals. one thing goes wrong in their life and immediately the legs are cut off that pedestal and everybody's jumping on them.
Yes,
What
I
does
know.
that say about society? Let's inject some kindness, some
Hmm.
caring, some compassion, some support, and let us first start with ourselves.
Absolutely. And I'm sure, doing this podcast, you must find, or it must be rewarding to see people discover what they're discovering about themselves.
Oh,
It
yes.
it would just
Oh,
be so rewarding to see what people just realize. There's some things you've said that just click. And that's
mhm.
what it takes for me. It takes sometimes just someone to say just the right way and it clicks for
Yeah.
me.
And
So
that's what your t-shirts are about. Is
yeah,
saying
yeah.
just the right way, the hoodies and everything else you put out, just the right way. Have it click with someone. Have
Hmm.
it shift them. Have
Hmm.
it be aha moment or have it be inquiry, right? The whole
Yeah.
thing is pivoting from where they're at to where they could be.
Yes. Yeah. So I love this. I love that we met. And that was just me taking a chance, going somewhere new and, and listening to the universe saying, no, you have to go. And overcoming the fear of going somewhere new and stepping into a new space where I knew nobody and you know, walking into a room full of people who stare at you because they don't know who you are either.
Well, and
So
you came and you saw my presentation, and I
yes.
am obviously more comfortable podcasting than I did another presentation the next week that was longer with no slides, which I'm so much better in my organic self than I am with that. Um, but it's I was asked to do it, and so I did it, right?
Yeah, and
Because
it
you
was
know
good.
it
It was really good. You did a great job.
and of course there was a free gift of the free podcast, and who should win
Yay!
it? The
Yay!
divine intervention again,
Right?
right?
Because
Exactly.
doing a podcast says I have all the equipment, I
Yeah.
have a plan, but to get to it, it's like, no, I just have to get over, there's still something I just have to move past. So
It was a kick at the butt. No, you're
it was a
doing
kick
it.
in the butt. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Unless
So
sometimes, sometimes they come along and it's like, well, what's your excuse?
mhm.
And you can come up mentally with a whole load of excuses. But really, when it comes down to it, really, do you have an excuse?
Yeah,
Just do it. And one of the best things, just do it. It's
absolutely.
great.
Absolutely. I agree.
I know that's again is that stop selling yourself short. There's so
Mm,
much more we're capable of. And you know what? If you try something and it didn't work, you didn't fail because you tried. It just simply didn't work. Go and try something else. And you may have to try a dozen things before you find that just right.
I absolutely agree with that. You
Don't be
really do.
scared to discover,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. I was always scared to be wrong. I was always scared to put my hand up in class because I might
Yeah,
be wrong.
right.
So yeah, and learning to it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to mess up. Um, that's how you learn.
Wrong all the time because educationally I've only probably got a grade 8 if that,
Mm.
right? Because sickly child, I didn't finish school, and so I was up against academic brother and academic people all around me. And but stars of knowingness, what came out of my mouth is what needed to come out of my mouth at that time.
Mhm.
And it's like I learned to trust that because that is who I am. And I don't have to measure myself against the MBAs, the BEDAs, the DDAs, and everything else. It's like this is my diploma from the
Mhm.
universe, God, universe,
Mhm.
source, spirit, right?
And it's worked.
And it's worked. And that's trust yourself.
Yeah.
Trust the gift that you are. Discover the gift that you are and what you're here to do. And sometimes we have to go through the Grand Canyons and the hard knocks of life in order to discover what it is. And then when you do discover it and you've got that passion and that conviction around it, then, oh my God, the information you have is just truly
Mhm.
abundant. When you can enrich and make somebody's life abundant through your experience and what you've discovered,
Mhm.
hallelujah.
Yeah, I used to always ask the question, if you could live your life over again, not knowing
Mm,
who your children will be and not knowing that, but starting right from go, would you do that?
mhm.
And I always said no. I do not want to go through any of that again. If that's what's going to happen to me once I'm gone, if I have to go through all that again, no. Um, but getting to where I am is changed that.
Yes, yes,
Um, if they said, but these are the children you will get again, then
yeah,
of course it would be a yes. Um, but not knowing that those would be my gifts. It was no, no, no,
right.
no, 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 no.
Yeah,
I do not ever want to go through that again. But it got me somewhere, and it got
exactly.
me to here, and it was for a reason.
That's the thing. My marriage to my ex, I have three beautiful children.
Hmm.
Now I have three beautiful grandsons and a step granddaughter. All my children are happy and meaningful purpose, living their life. I'm blessed. I'm
Absolutely.
already enriched, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, have I had a rocky road getting here? My God, a major roller coaster that I've nearly toppled out. But you know what? I love where I am now. I'm in the meadow,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And I wish I'd got here earlier, but
Hmm.
the tools weren't there for me then. And this is one of the reasons I do what I do is to bring you the skills and the tools and the wisdom from those that have gone through it so that you can get through your process quicker.
Absolutely. We all have something to offer in that regard.
Yes.
It was a different time for you. It was a different time for me, and it's going to be a different time for my kids when they have to talk about
Yes.
these things. Their struggle is going to be social media and all that they had to deal with there.
AI.
AI, all that
How to
stuff.
differ what is fake and what is real,
Yeah.
which actually requires them to actually investigate more instead of taking face value. So
Yes.
there's a lesson in that too.
Yes, and comparing,
Yeah.
it's like look at seeing what someone looks like.
Yeah.
And it's not real. So their struggles are going to be so different
Yes.
than mine, and mine are so different from yours. But,
Hmm.
hopefully we'll just keep learning and
Exactly.
sharing, and things will just get better.
The two
Hopefully people will
C's I
continue
hate,
to share.
compare and compete. Don't
Hmm.
compete with anyone else. Don't compare with anyone else. You are a beautiful, unique person. Just be yourself. You are enough. The
Hmm.
triangulist in an orchestra does not play all the time, may only have a small part, but it is significant to the piece. Do not compare yourself to the lead violinist. You're
Hmm.
not that. Own who you are, be who you are. The janitor is just as important as the CEO.
Absolutely. I like that. There's a few things you've said that I might put on a sweatshirt.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
Please do. Happy to. You want anything
Hmm.
else, they could churn out of me at times. Happy to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The I know that you're building a website.
Yes.
And so right now you've just basically got Instagram and Facebook. So
Yes.
can you share that with the audience so they can start seeing the t-shirts and seeing the
Yeah.
sayings and reach out to you? And of course, when you do have a website, we will put it up on your show page for
Yeah.
anybody watching the show later.
Hmm.
And how people can get hold of you.
So we can do through Facebook Messenger. So the Glow with Me by Jamie, you can message me directly on there. I do have an email, Jamie Taylor 1976 at hotmail.com. Jaime. Oftentimes my name is spelled wrong.
Hmm.
Um, and from there I can provide my number to do for texting or whatever, so we can get the order put together. It has I'm getting orders now, which is really,
Mm,
really nice. And I know if I'm going to have to go to something where it'll be a smoother process. So
right.
for right now, it's a lot of people who know me, friends, family, friends of friends who are ordering these. So for now, the email or through Facebook is working. But yes, there will be something that I will create that will make it easier to do your orders through. And
And again, yes, you're doing hoodies and hats, but of course,
yeah.
if people want something else, you can do that.
We can. So there's
And
hoodies. You can do a crew neck too if you don't like the hood.
mhm,
The hats are, yeah, you can do something with the hats if you like. And it's free shipping to anybody in Nanaimo. And then it is standard $15 shipping cost. They are out of Calgary. So basically you tell me what you want, it gets printed that day and mailed out. So
right,
it doesn't take long at all.
right. And you know, what a wonderful gift to give to someone. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
grandma, grandpa. what you mean to me in my life is, irreplaceable, and, mom and dad.
Hmm.
It's I would be nothing without you. There's so many things that you can personalize that you can give as a personal gift to someone with a saying on it. And like, how awesome is that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, and I'm just, I'm still coming up with, um, right now, the profits that I've made are going to Risebridge and Nanaimo, but I am open to, ideas. So,
Collaborations and
yes,
working with
collaboration.
teams, working with organizations. If you've got an
Yeah,
organization wants to do fundraising, you can do specific brand sayings from that as well. So
absolutely.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
open to
I'm
whatever
open
right
to
now.
ideas,
Mhm.
just because it is something I've just started and want it to grow into something. And so I'm open to ideas. I don't know where where donations are needed.
Right.
So anybody who has some ideas, I'm totally open to those too.
And of course, we've got Crossroads, the pregnancy, Grace Pregnancy Place, which will be a wonderful one in Nanaimo, which would be great. And there's so many avenues
Yeah.
that you can do that. And it's, and of course, if you want to sponsor this for an organization, right?
Hmm.
You want to sponsor it for a school team, or you want to sponsor it for a fundraiser for something, to do with the school or anything else, then reach out because
Absolutely.
you can have a design saying with maybe a logo or something on it that is relevant to whatever that is, and you've sponsored it. So, this
Absolutely.
is one-on-one, this is group, this is the sky's the limit. So,
Absolutely. And in the new year, I hope to get to some markets, and have have some options there. And then you can also place an order, we don't have your size or color, but yeah, in the new year, I hope to just do some of the markets and get it out there that way as well. So
So a website will be coming with all the designs. You're in the
yeah,
process of that. In the meantime, they can go through Instagram or Facebook,
yes,
and they can reach out to you by email and
yes,
just start the process. And
yeah,
we know the impact of this hoodie that's out there. You are enough for the person seeing this. We know the impact on that. And of course, before I met you, I'd ordered one of those for my step granddaughter, because she's a teenager, and that's
Mhm.
really important. I think that's something actually kids are going through hell at school, wherever they are, having a saying that they can wear and walk around with
Mhm.
could be something that could really help a classmate.
Mhm.
I really care for you. You need me, touch me on the shoulder,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah,
that's the point. There's so much that you can do. And it's just
yeah.
a question of being proactive. So wonderful gifts.
Mhm.
Of course, you can ship it to the States or anywhere else. Obviously, shipping
Anywhere, yes.
shipping will just be adjusted accordingly,
Yeah.
and personalize it, or as I said, get for a group or a team. You know,
And
if you
please send me ideas. If you know
yes,
of a society or anywhere that's struggling, especially right now during Christmas,
yes.
if there's somewhere that they keep running based on donations. If there's somewhere that needs help, reach out to me. And
And this is an excellent time. Like I bought this hoodie
mhm,
for my granddaughter. This is an excellent gift. Best granddaughter or best grandson in the world, or that type of thing coming from grandmas and parents to their
mhm.
kids and vice versa. That's the thing is like personalize it because that personalization is just going to mean so much, so much. And
Okay.
there's still time, folks. She can still get it out to you for
I
Christmas if you get your
can,
order in. So
I
yeah.
can. And the profits are going to go to a good cause. They
Yeah.
will make a difference in the community and hopefully outside the community. We're just getting started.
You're
So,
just getting started, and also you've got the on their suicide prevention thing on
mhm,
there. So that's an added thing on there that, again, the silent hug, the silent
yeah.
support, which is so important. So
And that just kind of came to me sleeping one night. Put down
exactly.
instead of the
Best
cup.
things come when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
They wake you up, but the best things come.
Yes.
And of
Yes.
course, in the new year, we're going to talk about your transformation, your weight loss,
Yeah.
your discovery of a new you, and we will have you back again. We will go
Thank
down
you.
that road as well. But for now, this is an important show around Christmas time, anytime, but especially this time of year when there are many, many people that step into depression through
Mhm.
loneliness, through pressure, through whatever else is going on in their life. And so, if please share the show out, folks. Please share it out to someone you know, share it out on your own social medias. You have no idea of who this is going to impact, and just be what they needed to hear to support them. And the same with the hoodies and t-shirts and hats and everything else that is going to be. So it's the only way we get through this is together. So let's be there for each other. So thank you so much, Jaime.
Thank
Been
you.
wonderful having you
Thank
here.
you. I loved it. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. So,
Okay.
folks, remember, we're all in this together. Every single one of us has gone through an up and down. We may know how, you may know how we feel with this discussion today, or maybe you didn't know. May you pay more attention to someone that you feel that might be going through something right now. It's reach out, let them know you care. I'm here when you're ready. I
Mhm.
see you, I feel you. I'm here when you're ready, and I'm going to keep asking until you feel ready. So until next time, folks, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there, and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration, it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.